Well, you guys all voted, and we are back on Revontuli Coast today to continue looking for some of the diamonds that we don't have. And I found it intriguing. I didn't do this on purpose, but the outpost that I reset the time in has the 12 gauge pump. Guess which shotgun we have today? So I think maybe that's a good sign. Is the title about Yukon, by the way? Because that's what it shows in my Discord. I swear I changed it. I'm like 100% sure I changed it, so I don't know what that's about. But anyway, we're just gonna kind of set out and see what we can find. We're still missing mountain hare. We're still missing raccoon dogs. We need both species of geese, and we need the widgeon. That might be it. I think we're at 5. I hope we're at 5. We voted, but it was the popular or electoral vote that won. Yes, I had... What are those called? Is it electors? What's the name of the people that actually cast the vote? Because, like, you do have the electoral thing. Anyway, I dropped out. Did you know that? What's up, Mel? Revontuli it is. What are we going after today? I'm going to try to... I'm really bad at this, but I'm going to try to spend significant time going after raccoon dogs. Every time I say that, I get, like, I start chasing grouse and ptarmigan, everything else other than raccoon dogs. But first we're starting off just sort of in an area that we maybe don't always go through, and we're gonna work our way down to raccoon dog territory. So the hope is, you know, maybe stumble into some rabbits as we go and then get after something that I feel like should be doable. I know Kyla was grinding raccoon dogs, and as I recall she had like 3 level 9s, 2 trolls, and then finally got a diamond. Delegates? Is that what the name of the voter is called? Maybe it's just named Carl. What gun are we using? For the whitetail there, that was the 303. We also have the 243 handgun, naturally the 22, and as mentioned at the beginning, the 12 gauge shotgun. First time catching a stream. Glad you can make it, man. Hopefully it will be good. My only worry, really, is this crazy dog I've got on my lap. While recording earlier, I think 3 times, we had... It's been super cold here, and it's finally kind of thawing out a little bit. We had icicles fall off of the roof and land somewhere on either the deck or whatever, and she would hear that and think somebody was like approaching the house or whatever and just go nuts. So let's hope that doesn't happen. Otherwise, ripped everybody's ears, but she's very sleepy at the moment, so fingers crossed. Are there turkeys on Revontuli Coast? There are not, but there's caper Kaylee, which are relatively similar. They are also aggressive, which is one of my favorite things in this game. Is Revontuli good for a whitetail grind? I personally have not done a whitetail grind on Revontuli, but my impression has been that it is probably the best map to grind on. Protecting the big male lands. Speaking of, oh, hello. Speaking of big male lands, 1 week from Saturday, so 5 days from now, opening day of rifle. I'm doing my best to prep content for that first week because, I mean, you guys, you know, every stream, typically somebody will ask, like, hey, how's hunting season going? And my response, unfortunately, never changed throughout the entire season. Never did kill a deer in PA. I got my buck in West Virginia, which has really saved the season so far, but I'm planning on trying to fill a lot of tags that first week, so my plan is to have all the content ready to go, and hopefully that will work. Girlfriend got a 274 whitetail last night at Revontuli. There you go. 274, what's the max? Like 276.5 is about as big as anybody's ever gotten. There's no true max for true racks, but I can't recall anybody going above that. Hope you get a diamond. Thank you, man. Maybe this bear will be one. Top 3 favorite maps. Let's see. Layton, number 1. I think for Hunga is going to be 2. I'm going to be in a minority here, but I think Yukon might be my 3rd favorite. I really like Yukon, and especially now, like, with the changes they've made, they did a really good job. To me, the entire day is huntable. You start out early in the morning. I believe caribou are drinking. You always have the potential to run into gray wolves, obviously. You go into mid-morning. If I'm not mistaken, moose are still around noon. What drinks mid-morning on that map? Something does. Or does anything? I thought something did. We just hunted there and I can't remember. Yukon rocks? I like the species for sure. And then, again, with the reset and redistribution, it made more of the map viable. Got a max weight albino diamond moose last week. Was it a 298? I saw somebody post a 298 max weight albino diamond. Acid drinks in the morning? I don't know that time of day really impacts his drink time. Best hunting time for Layton. Suppose it depends what you're after. Whitetail are like 8 to 11:30 on that map. I would say like early morning's pretty good because you got elk 4 to 8 and the whitetail right after that, 8 to noon-ish. Right after that, moose start to drink. So you start early morning and you have a pretty good, like what, 2 real hours of solid hunting? Just got my first diamond Caper Kaylee, nice. Was it aggressive by chance? This bear is determined to live. Best spots on Nez Perce Valley. It sort of depends on what you're after. Diamond Drill is really good for deer in general. Our 2 5-star mule deer came from there, and the whitetail that I'm putting all my eggs in one whitetail basket right now to make 5-star. That's down there in Diamond Drill as well. So I would put that high on the list. I'd also say, what's the name of the area in the southwest? Like the far southwest, there's a campsite down there. We've had like 6 5-star elk in that area. 4.77, not bad. What great one would you want in the game? Well, I guess we have to pick one that's not in the game or coming to the game. I'd still go mule deer. I'm about to give up on this bear. Mule deer still, to me, and I've said this many times, but if you look at like the all-time record non-typical mule deer, they're so insanely huge. Like, you don't even have to exaggerate anything. You look at the Great One whitetail, like the big rack, the 630, whatever it is, you're never gonna get that in the wild. It looks like a farm deer, which is fine, you know, they're going for the peak of what whitetail can grow as a Great One. You don't have to do any exaggeration, any farmed mule deer kind of stuff. Literally, like, the huge non-typicals, wild mountain bugs, that's all they gotta do. Are we doing RL hunting videos early this year? They're gonna be earlier. I'm thinking maybe after the ATA show. So like mid-January-ish? That's my hope. I'm gonna have to talk to TK and see what his plan is, but yeah, they should be a good bit earlier this year. We had initially thought of maybe doing them as we had done in the past, like releasing sort of as the season progresses, but it's really tough, right? The old videos that we used to do, the old real-life hunting content, that was, I don't want to call it low-effort content, because it wasn't, but we were able to put those videos together relatively quickly. Now it's a lot, you know, more polished and highly produced and all that, and I think for us to be able to keep that level of quality, as I can't get a level of quality shooting, that's fine, it's a level 1 anyway, it's going to take longer to edit. So, in season's not an option, but hopefully, you know, soon after the season ends, kind of thing. You're a farm deer? Thank you. Where's Kyla? Kyla is in Georgia visiting family for Thanksgiving. I would have been there, but we have a very needy dog. I think as long as my parents can watch her, I'll at least get to go for Christmas anyway. If you weren't doing YouTube, what would you be doing? It's an excellent question. I have no idea. When I made the decision to drop out of college, like, it was partially with the idea in mind that I'm just gonna, you know, go for it, put everything I have into YouTube and see what happens. I can say with a pretty good degree of certainty, even if I wasn't doing YouTube like as a job, I'd still be making YouTube content and streams and stuff. It just wouldn't be as much or as many because I would obviously have some other job or other commitments I'd have to do first. But I don't know, like, if I had to choose something else I could do, I was going to college for basically computer science stuff. So maybe I could have found my way in that, but that was kind of what got me. It was my second year of college, and it was kind of like slowly realizing that exactly what I was trying to go to college for probably wasn't what I wanted to do forever, and then I decided to try YouTube, and that worked out well. If only that was a duck. If only I could shoot. Wouldn't matter if it's a duck or a moose. Do moose fly? Maybe the great one moose will fly. Currently binge watching Northwood's Law. Nice. What are you watching it on? Were you disappointed about the new map location being New England instead of something else? So, I should first state that when it was revealed, I was hunting in Tennessee. So, like, I didn't get to see the reveal of it. And I kind of, like, heard everything all at once. So, instead of being, like, find out it's New England, find out the species, you know, not really anything for new species, it was like, hey, it's New England, it's, you know, all these backfilled things with, you know, all the different species that are going to be on old maps. It's the weapon skin feature, I guess to call it that. So, like, I got all that news at once. And I wasn't disappointed. Like, I had no initial reaction of being disappointed, which I may have if the first thing was like, hey, new map, these are the species, that's it. But, I think for them to do what they've done, there had to be some sacrifice, I guess, with the new content. And in this case, it's the lack of new species being added. We still get a new map, but wasn't it like green winged teal? That's the only new species. It's a very odd thing. But like some of the resources to make the new stuff had to be taken away from what is typically done with a new map. And I'm fine with it. I think a lot of these things are needed for Call of the Wild. We've talked about customization in a bunch of ways, and particularly weapon customization for forever. A lot of people have had complaints about a lot of reserves because some stuff was missing, and in their opinion, egregiously so. And some of that's getting fixed. Did I kill anything in Tennessee? No, I gotta upload that stupid thing. I'll tell the story, I guess, because it's been like a week and a half and I still haven't uploaded it. It's literally like it's a YouTube short. All I gotta do is upload it, and I've been procrastinating. So, we saw a ton of bears down there. The first day, I was still driving down. I had about a 10-hour drive. Aaron, some of you guys know Aaron from Discord, and sometimes he's in the streams. He joined me on this hunt, and he had like a 6-hour drive. Another max weight bear. So he got there like 11:30 Central Time. We were just on the west side of the time zone border. So he basically sat down, and within like 10 minutes, low-end shooter buck came through. He ended up not shooting it, I think partially because he would have had to deal with it by himself, partially because he had just gotten there, and it didn't really offer much of a shot anyway. And then that was it for that day. The next morning, he actually got a shot at a slightly better buck, hit it a little bit high. We never did find that one, unfortunately. And that was kind of it for the deer encounters. I saw myself 10 bears, and I think he saw 5. And one of the bears, on my last morning, Aaron had already gone home. I hunted Thursday by myself. And I got back to my truck. Everything seemed fine. New truck, by the way. I had it for like 5 days at this point. And I got like 3 miles down the road, and I thought I saw bear scat on the road. And I had seen this a couple of times already, but it's just like as I've continued with this trip and seen nothing but bears, every time I would see any sign of them, it's like, wow, was that really a thing? Or are they just out on the road doing their thing? So I went to look in my rearview mirror, couldn't see it, better the truck's in the way, and I looked in the side mirror. And that was when I noticed my mirror was not facing the right direction. So, first thought was like, okay, why is that happening? And then it occurred to me that a chunk of the plastic of the housing in the mirror was busted off. So now I'm just mad, right? This is my last morning. Some other hunter hit my mirror in my truck and didn't leave a note or anything. And then I realized that I parked on the right side of the road, so that can't have been a thing. And then I saw the little toe marks on the mirror. A bear had walked up to my truck, no doubt because he's done this before with other people's trucks looking for food or whatever. Stood up, looked in the window, probably looking for said food, and then saw himself in the mirror and slapped my mirror and broke it. He didn't break the glass, just the plastic. Also clawed up the window a little bit. So yeah, that was good. cool encounters. I have some really cool sow and cub footage that will be in one of the episodes eventually, but long story short, nothing got the smoke. What kind of truck? It's an F-150. And I'm really not even that upset. Like, I'll get the mirror fixed, but, you know, I've got claw marks in my hunting truck. How many people have that? Imagine having a camera there. Dude, I was hunting, like, not 250 yards from the truck, because I've been seeing bears everywhere, right? And now I'm by myself. I'm hunting with a muzzleloader, so I've got one shot. And I've got to get any deer that I may or may not shoot, well, that I may shoot, out by myself. So I was like, well, I'm not going far from the truck, because not only is the idea of potentially dragging a deer, you know, many hundreds of yards, not that appealing to me by myself, it was more so the fact that I'd have to do that with maybe bears smelling said deer and trying to come pay me a visit. So I was really close to the truck, but I couldn't see it where I was, and I would have loved to have gotten that on film, but frankly, if it was happening, I'd have probably been making some attempt to stop it. Maybe. I don't know. Would I have known that was going to happen, seeing a bear stand up next to my truck? Probably not. Grant, thank you for the super chat and the super sticker, by the way. It took me, I thought that was, for some reason, I thought that was a chicken. I like it. Okay, back on track. Literally. What map? We are on Revontuli Coast today. How hard is it to get a bear tag in Tennessee? In that particular part, it probably isn't difficult at all. They only have an archery season, but I'm not gonna lie, I feel fairly confident I can go in there and smoke a bear with a bow. Now maybe, I know nothing, literally zero things, about hunting bears. That's a big male. I especially know nothing about hunting bears with a bow. That said, did that miss? No, I got him. Like, assuming that the bears that we saw from November, when were we there? November 7th to November 12th or something like that, would be doing similar things, being in similar areas a month earlier, then yeah, I think I could get one. Their archery season is sometime in October. There's one pretty big boar that was on the same ridge, like 3 separate days. I honestly think he probably goes there every day. Which game do you like better, Way the Hunter or Call of the Wild? It's sort of like a depends on the day thing for me. Why are we lagging like this? What is causing this? I thought it was the super sticker, because sometimes that happens. What if we lower that? Might be because we're not running a smooth 60 in-game. Okay, that's fine. Not a fan of that. What area, Tennessee? We were like on the... It's still... What if we lower the graphic settings? We're on like the eastern part of Tennessee, just south of the Kentucky border. Where are... Oh. Is that gonna fix it? Never had this problem on this map before. I'm not sure what that's about. It still looks stuttery. It has no eyes? I think it had eyes, but they, like, they were rolled back in his head when he was drinking? I don't know. How many hours do you have in-game? 5,790. West Virginia rifle opener was an awesome day. My uncle shot a massive 10. My buddy got a nice 8, and I got a small 6. Good deal. Now, do you guys hunt the... Oh, it doesn't matter. I was going to ask if you hunt the archery as well. Do you have, like, a second buck tag? My understanding is you get 3 buck tags, and you can take, like, 2 in archery or 2 in gun, and then, like, 1 in the other season. Which diamonds are we still missing? I believe it's mountain hare, raccoon dog, both geese, and widgeon. I think it's those 5. Little smoother going here anyway with the frames. You're not my bear. Do you live in Tennessee? I do not. I live in Pennsylvania. Cousin last weekend killed a large buck in Texas. There you go. Just got my blind. What kind of blind? Misread that. Just got in my blind. Still, what kind of blind? Mountain Hare, Royal Pain? They really are, like, it feels like they may be the ultimate, like, opportunity kill species. If I target them, I really don't find any. Back when I used to hunt, it was in Cumberland and Morgan counties. Oh, I was trying to think of what county I shot my deer in West Virginia. I do know. I don't think we're too terribly far from them. Deer season's been good to us so far. One of my cousins got a big 16-point buck, and a buddy of mine got a nice 12-point early this month, hoping the December gun hunt is good to the rest of our group. Sounds like you guys are due. That's a lot of points on 2 deer. I'm in West Virginia. This season has been one of the best. Nice. Got a 13-point in North Carolina. Not a bad deal. A lot of people smoking deer this year. It seemed like maybe it was just my perception, like based on like the hunting circles that I'm in. But it seemed like there was a lot of early season success. I had my buck October 11th. My dad got one October 3rd? No, October 4th. He was a week before mine. And then there was like a lull. And then that last cold front, like November 12th, 13th was killer. I was really close to smoking the blade at 9. Called him into 28 yards, just... He crossed the hillside where I wanted him at 45. Then I snort-wheezed him back, and he was walking straight at me, looking at me, basically. Oh, what the... Okay. Hold that thought. No! Don't you do it. Oh, smoke that tree, holy. May or may not let it get away. Wow. Well, anyway, now that I'm reloading and he's sitting there still, I knew that was gonna happen. I'm just gonna wait this time. I'm sure he'll get away. Well, the good news was we saw the bear was a mythical, so at least we know that. Anyway, to finish my thought there, when I snort wheezed him back, he came down and was like facing me at 26, 27, 28 yards. I don't know exactly what it was. And if he would have just gone back across the hill like I was sure he was going to do, I had him. Or I had a shot. And he didn't. He walked straight up over the hill. Nice watching a Flinter stream because he doesn't find animals all the time. I'd like to think that's the, Am I on the wrong capercaillie track? Ooh, I was. Anyway, I'd like to think that's the vibe we're trying to go for. I don't know. When it's a guarantee, it's just not as fun to me. Missing birds and smoking trees. Flinter 2022. That should be a t-shirt. Big fan from India. That's awesome, man. Appreciate you watching. Appreciate you stopping into the stream. That bird was a level 3. It was indeed. And I was bad. Have you ever hunted in Canada? I have not. Maybe one day. I know there's the big males. Found 3 level 5 caribou on Yukon yesterday and all troll. That's some rough luck. Wait. That doesn't make sense. How many max weight capercaillies are around here? Would have been really cool. He did go like that way. Would have been really cool if we just like shot him and weren't dealing with this. What is the best 22 weapon? Probably the Virant, the one that we're using. The AR-22 is good, but the drawback to it is that it doesn't have the ability to do what is commonly referred to as the 22 strat, aka shooting next to an animal with the 22 Virant just alerts it. Doing so with the AR-22 will actually spook it. Now you may wonder what the heck is that for, or why would you want to do that? And the reason is, it turns out it is rather useful to get them to kind of turn around and offer you a shot with the correct weapon. What did I miss? Nothing too crazy. We're trying to locate this, level 3 Caper Kaylee. Last we saw it, it's right there. But none of these tracks are making any sense. I am confusion. That's a hazel grouse. Do I like Way the Hunter or Call the Wild more? It's a tough question to answer, honestly, because, like, for me, it's very much dependent on the day. Like, there's some days if I'm just, like, tired, you know, say I hunted all day, I come back and maybe I'll just want to go shoot some stuff. Probably I'm going to go to Call the Wild. Way the Hunter takes a little more patience, but, you know, if I'm looking for a challenge, wanting to feel like I'm hunting, you know, especially when it's not hunting season, I think Way the Hunter is more so my go-to. Also love from the great state of Maine, come hunt our whitetail one day. I'd love to. Maine's a cool state for hunting. Whitetail, moose, and black bear all in one state. In the Northeast as well. Not a thing you can really get much of anywhere else. Got a 14-pointer, nice. This dude gave us the heckin' bamboozle. What happened? He either didn't leave tracks, or like, I don't even know. Unless this just isn't where he was, which I suppose is possible. Not really the big deal, but you know, diamonds are nice to get regardless. What do you think about the New England mountains? I'm fairly excited for like the area itself. Species-wise, you know, the ability to do 3 different Great One grinds on one map I think is going to be cool. You know, there's the potential to clear hunting pressure from one grind while doing another and be progressing in that grind like nonstop. I think that's always going to be a good thing. For me, it's the idea of like kind of starting fresh with the black bear grind because of what's going on SRP just has not been working lately. And, you know, the features coming with the update, that's really what does it for me. It's the backfilling of old species onto old maps, newer species onto old maps, just kind of making things fit in places they've probably always had a place in. And then, you know, things like the weapon skin is going to be really cool, I think. Why are you not watching the World Cup? Not something I really follow. I know 0 Day, I think it's in Qatar, right? Pretty sure that's happening. What I miss? Not much. We had a level 3 Caper Kaylee, and I just can't figure out where it went. I don't even know if these are its tracks. It's sort of straight lining, which confuzzles me. Nervous. What if we sort of go that way? Because that's the last thing we saw it do, was sort of fly up that hill. So is Medved still getting wolves and Caper Kaylee? Was it getting wolves? I don't know. The last thing I had seen was, I saw the Caper Kaylee, and then there was the whole, like the kudu debacle, and then that's not actually a thing, it's gonna be Widgeon, right? And I was getting the impression, again, I like wasn't around for this stuff, so maybe I just didn't see it. Medved is getting wolves, okay. Well, good. I was under the impression that like every map was sort of just getting one species. It seems like they were trying to do that, but that's I kind of feel like they fit there, so I like it. How do you grind without tripods? For the most part, the same way you grind with tripods. You just got to be a little bit more conscious of your hunting pressure. So, you know, you get to a spot and let's say you're grinding whitetail, like something that you're likely to see more than 3 males in one spot. You just never shoot more than 3. And before you go and do another run, you gotta go and clear hunting pressure. With that, whether, you know, you're shooting ducks or, I don't know, rabbits, whatever you gotta shoot elsewhere to clear pressure before you go and do another run. Because deleting your zones and having to refine them is just a good way to slow down the grind. What's up, Michael? I had a question. How do you feel about Way the Hunter? I like it a lot. It's been rude to me in not giving me a 5-star whitetail, but it's better that way, I think, than just always finding the things that we're looking for immediately. So I'd much prefer the challenge. I think they did a really good job with it. There's things that could be better, and I think they're working on making things such as that better. And yeah, overall, I've been impressed. Is this it? Maybe. Why, you ask? Am I looking for a level 3 Caper Kaylee when we have 12 of them? I don't know. Because I missed it, and it made me sad. Got a big 5-star whitetail a while ago. There you go. I've got one that I'm feeling like has a decent chance. But I've had like 12 of them now that I thought had a decent chance. It's looking like it ain't it, but we'll see. What is the average amount of kills to get a great one? Whitetail, I know it's random, but is there a number to go off of? I have, just from like seeing people post their grind stats in Discord, I would say it's like somewhere between 1,500 and 2,000. That seems like, you know, the more grind stats I've seen posted, that sort of is where the average is. Why do you like 12 so much? It's just the perfect number, man. It's honestly, it comes from probably just the dumbest situation ever, but it sort of became a meme in our community because of it and just stuck. Essentially, if you are aware of Discord's terms of service, one of them requires that you are at least 13 years old to have an account. So one of my mods at the time, who was, I think, 17 or 18, but he was the youngest mod, we used to just, you know, lightheartedly mess with him and say that he was 12 years old because he was the youngest one, like too young to even have an account. Haha. It wasn't that great, but you know, our humor wasn't that sophisticated. Anyway, he was playing into that one day and said it in a public chat, and somebody reported him for it and got his account banned. And naturally, after that happened, we had to double down on it. What graphics card do you have? I have... Are you it? You are not it. How could you bamboozle me like that? I've got a 3070. I know, I was just thinking that too, Beast Within. I said I was going to focus on them, and here we are. Chasing birds. The wrong birds. Not even the right birds. We're close to Raccoon Dog Land. We'll just keep it moving. Do you like the new Steelers quarterback? I do. I feel like he gets a lot of criticism, and a lot of it I don't feel like is fair. They don't run an offense where the quarterback's really going to shine. I was looking at it through a different lens probably the first time this week during the Bengals game. Because in the first half, they sort of opened up and let him make plays. But then they fell back into their old ways in the second half of like, don't mess up, don't mess up, don't mess up, let the defense do their thing, but do not turn the ball over on offense. And then they just don't move the ball anywhere. And eventually they lose the game. Like, I think that formula can work, but they got to do a little more on offense. But they don't call the plays for him to really have a breakout game. So, you know, he's whatever he was. 28 of 42 or 26 of 42 for like 250 yards. Like, it's just not an impressive stat line, but he's actually playing within the offense they want him to play in. They just about have to make a new map that is Africa or Australia. I can't see them doing anything else without making people mad. And even if they did that, you'd still get like that very loud portion of the fan base that, or viewer, player base, one of those base words, you know, acid base, one of them. Anyway, you just can't please everybody, and that is what it is, but I'm hoping they do that. One Bad Leroy, thank you for the 12-month, by the way, welcome back. Did rifle season open up for you? Saturday does. So my plan for the remainder of today and the next couple of days is to get a bunch of content prepped and ready to go, so that basically I can focus on hunting and actually sleeping, because I mean, basically since I started doing YouTube, like, and taking YouTube seriously, going back, say 5 years ago anyway, I'll get at best like 1 or 2 videos ready for the starter rifle. That happens, and then it gets to be the 3rd day, and I'm like, you know, up at 5, hunt till 5:30, get back here, record, edit, upload. It's midnight, it's 1 a.m., sleep for 4 hours. I can only do that like maybe 3 days, and then I gotta skip a morning because I'm too tired. So I don't want to do that. I want to have all the content ready for the first week and just hunt literally as much as possible. And when I say as much as possible, I mean like every hour of daylight in that time frame. Are we gonna fly away together? Yes. Oh, we kind of flew. Should play with Kendall Gray. You know, I don't think our content styles mesh that well. We have a very different approach to content, and I think that's fine, but I'm just not sure that it would be the, you know, greatest collab in history. What's the most daring thing you've ever done? I don't know. Nothing like immediately jumps out of my memory. What's tomorrow's vid? The plan is, what did I do? I recorded it earlier. Oh, SRP. Daylight SRP, so not black bear grinding, just kind of continuing with the trend of trying to explore the map in daylight and see what else is there. Think he could fly on a turkey? Maybe. What map would you like to see in the future? I've been rooting for, you know, Africa 2.0 for like 3 years now, so that. But to maybe pick something else, I like the idea of a Greenland map. Muskox, you'd have caribou, Arctic fox would be a thing, and then you kind of run out of game species. Like if you look at hunting in Greenland, that's kind of it. But surely in the fictional world of Call of the Wild, you could come up with some other Arctic type of species to put in there. You know, you could do polar bear if you really wanted to. You could do Arctic wolves if you really wanted to. You know, I'm sure they could come up with things to kind of fill a reserve like that with. I mean, heck, they could take the classic White Rime Ridge approach and just sort of mesh the two together. Should stream Way the Hunter tomorrow. I might stream it on Friday. I think I'm still going to stream Friday. I don't know what time Kyla's flight is. She gets back on Friday. So, assuming that I am back here by 1 p.m., which I'm pretty confident is going to be way before that. I think it's a morning flight. The plan, essentially, is to get back here, do the stream, and then go to my parents for, I guess, I see, when I call this a buck season party, it's not a party in any way, shape, or form, but that's just what my dad's always called it, so I'm going to go with that. It's literally just like, Dad makes a bunch of wild game themed food and we all overeat, and it's basically Thanksgiving too, 2 days later. Do we know when the update is? I don't think there's been any official info. Where is this thing? It sounds like it's following me around. Shut up over there. If you had a warning label, what would it say and why? If I had a warning label. I don't know. I'm not good at these games. Warning. Will be terrible at games such as choosing a warning label. Where's a great blacktail region? They might make a great one. So you're asking, like, real-life map ideas? Or map ideas based on where blacktail may be in real life? Am I understanding that right? Caution, prepare yourself for dad jokes. We both know that you wanted to put an adjective in front of dad jokes that probably started with an S and ended with a Y. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Probably in a mirror, I don't know. See that? There's your dad joke. Wolverines on Medved, there you go, I'd like that idea. They had Wolverines in Alaskan Adventures. This is gonna be the dumbest thing, but when I'm sure a lot of you guys can sort of relate to this though. When I was younger playing a lot of those Cabela's hunting games, and I'm sure their particular style of sort of dangerous hunts and stuff sort of shaped this. But anything that could attack you in games, like whether it was bears or wolves or wolverines, just would terrify me in those games. And it took me years to finally get to the point where I just would shoot them instead of panicking. But it was a wolverine on one of those Alaskan adventure hunts. I can't remember the name of it. It's on the Caribou map. I don't know how far in the game. Anyway, one attacked me, and I finally just, like, worked up the courage to shoot it. And I shot it and dropped it. And it was this sudden realization of, like, oh. If I just focus for half a second, instead of my character dying, I can just not die. P.S. I don't have the audio on. Missed an excellent joke there. Caution, PA boy. I can't remember if deer can also attack in Alaskan Adventures. I know in one of the Cabela's of that time could. I don't think that... actually, moose did. I almost feel like there was a slight chance that deer could. That never bothered me that bad. You know the, what was that game that Dee Dee played? The one with the elephants? That's gonna bug me. I can't think of the name of it. Hunting Unlimited. One of the earlier Hunting Unlimiteds, I had it in it was a computer disc. It was like a 3-game, I don't know what to call it, bundle or whatever. There were 3 games on one disc. It was one of the Hunting Unlimiteds, I don't know which. A bass fishing game of some kind. And one of those Deer's Revenge games where you hunted hillbillies. But anyway, in that Hunting Unlimited game, I don't know why I felt the need to tell you those other 2 games. They're completely irrelevant. In that Hunting Unlimited game, there was a mission, I guess you'd call it, where you had a 12-gauge pump shotgun with slugs. You were set up in a tripod, which, by the way, tripods did not keep you safe from bears in this game. And 6 grizzlies or brown bears, I don't know what they called them, would charge you from the mountain across. They'd come to the creek and up the hill and try to, you know, murder you in the tripod. I hated that mission, and my dad decided to do it probably to try to... I assume the idea was like, hey, you're scared of this, watch me do it. Seems like a dad thing to do. Well, he wasn't hitting them, and one of the bears was gonna kill him, and I don't know how old I was, 5. I remember, like, running into the living room, diving onto the couch, and throwing a pillow over my ears so, like, I couldn't hear his character, or the character yell when the bear got him. I got made fun of for that for years. So now I'm telling you guys, you can make fun of me too. It did have its moments. The create a hunt thing I thought was an interesting feature on those games. Did you give up on the angler? I didn't give up on it. I find that it's difficult in its current state to make, like, video content on it. Because the problem is, now for me, and this might sound dumb, but you just catch too many fish. Like, it's non-stop every cast. You catch a fish and it's like, cool, like, that's fine. But there's no pacing to it. Like, it's really hard to make it into a video for my style. I find streaming it. I plan to stream it sometime in the relatively near future, but yeah, it's tough to make a video on right now. I just, like, there's almost nothing to edit. Does that make sense? Like, it's non-stop. Just got out of class. Did I miss anything? I had a level 3 Caper Kaylee getaway. Can't figure out where it went, but that's all good. Hi, Shadow. Why are you awake? You have an hour and 15 minutes to keep napping. Big meal. What map would you like to see for Way the Hunter? Didn't somebody, like, already dig into the game files of that game and figure out what one of the maps is supposed to be? Regardless, I've been saying Africa and Alaska. Ooh, hello there. Please be a 3. Please. Oh my god, hello. What? Can they troll? What just happened? It was like 2 feet away. Please don't troll. Huh? Me too. Holy. Yes, they can. Alright. Nobody panic. Yes. God, that is a huge weight off my shoulders. That was one of the ones that was going to be, like, ungrindable. Made it by a lot. 5.79. Good deal. That was so stupid. Like, we picked up its track. I expect, like, a long track, and it's literally sitting there probably looking at us like, hey, don't touch my track. Big male. Big female. Wait, what? How did I track it for 300 meters? The thing, I wish the tracks would stay like Way the Hunter, because I would love to go back and see which track I picked up with this earlier. Had to be a, you know, one of its poop tracks. What a view. Okay, well, shout out to everybody that voted in that poll today. Got one of the things we needed. So, that leaves us with 3 bird species and raccoon dogs, I believe. Nice shot, thank you. That was pure, like, panic mode. Bunny. Done it again. Hey, it was all you guys voting and putting me in the right spot, because I really was going to do Way the Hunter. I put the poll up there just to kind of gauge the interest in Way the Hunter at the moment, because it wasn't that long ago when it would have been reversed. The poll was almost 65-35. I think it was almost exactly that. And it was almost exactly the reverse of that when Way the Hunter came out. So I'm happy to see, you know, Call of the Wild still as, appealing in terms of content as it's always been to you guys. And now, it worked out in our favor. Oh, a third one. You know, a pack of raccoon dogs. Might as well. What gun would you like to see in Call of the Wild? I'm not a big, like, you know, I want this exact gun type of person. What I'd more so say is, can you guys get out of here? I've never heard more obnoxious hazel grouse in my life than today. Anyway, I'm more so like, you know, give me something I can zero out to 400 meters. Like, I don't necessarily care what particular gun it is. Just like a long-range weapon with what I've been thinking would be a neat idea would be a long-range weapon with a scope with a higher zoom than the Argus, and then maybe also in a DLC like that could be like a spotting scope or something. I think that would be a neat idea. If I had to pick one though, one thing that I would like would be a 7mm Mod 8, just because I use that in real life. Every year we have a tradition of going out in the Hunter Classic and doing basically like a opening day of rifle season hunt. And while I'd like to keep that tradition to the Hunter Classic, it would be fun to do a little bit of like, you know, let's use the loadout in Call of the Wild that I would use in real life. I enjoy doing stuff like that, and Way the Hunter even has one. Like, I'm probably gonna do one like that in that game sometime soon, but yeah, I mean, I guess that would be the caliber I'd choose. Longest you've gone without sleeping, why? The longest, in recent memory at least, was a little over 40 hours. That was for Aaron's 24-hour stream. I can't remember why he streamed for 24 hours. Like, just to clarify, Aaron doesn't stream. Aaron doesn't make YouTube videos, but right when, like, we started doing 24-hour streams, like Zaggy did one. I don't even know if I had done one, but I had said that I'd do one once we got to 100K. And then Aaron did one. I think I must have done one already. And basically, he said that he was going to do it on a certain day, and we hadn't even talked about it for I don't know how long, to the point that I had forgotten about it. So I got up at like 9 a.m. that day, did my thing, 16 hours later, almost ready for bed. Maybe I got up at 7 or something. It was like 10 o'clock. Whatever 16 hours... No. How did that go? Might have been 14 hours or something. The math here is messed up. Regardless, I had been awake for almost a full day, and he messaged me and says, hey, I'm starting my 24-hour stream. I was like, okay. I guess I'll be there for the whole thing. So, we did 20 hours of stream, and this is why my math is messed up, because I know it was 40 hours I was awake. And then he had like he was in college at the time. Hey, there's a deer by my cell cam. Let's see what's going on. Anyway, he had a college thing to go to, so we ended the stream for like an hour and a half, came back and did the final 4 hours, and I ended up being awake for 40 hours, as did he. Okay, my cell cam just went off with no deer. I didn't need that kind of negative energy. What damage are we missing? Now, having shot the mountain hare, we are missing raccoon dog, widgeon, and both species of geese. I think that's it. I really don't want to scroll through this entire thing. Quick scroll. Yeah. Unless I'm forgetting one, we're down to those 4. Got a diamond mountain hare? We did, yeah. It was my level of luck, type of stupid, like one of them things. We're running along. I don't know what I was talking about. I picked up a 5 to 6 kg track, and I said, please be a level 3. Took like 3 more steps, spooked it. It was a 3, and then I shot it. It wasn't. There wasn't a lot of build up to that one. How's the hunt going? It's going pretty good. We let a level 3 caper Kaylee get away, but got a diamond mountain hare, so big weight off the shoulders. I feel like raccoon dog, they can be grinded for a little bit. I'm gonna have to just kind of commit to that. And then the birds, I really don't think they're gonna be that big a challenge. It's just a matter of putting in the time. The amount of max weight tracks I've followed to disappointment. That On the Road Again song, but on the road to disappointment. Show us the hunting lodge. We are overdue for a lodge tour. I should do one sometime soon here. Finally just shot the great one. Whitetail is getting so sick of shooting deer, I can imagine. Congrats, man. What track did you get? List 2 pet peeves. I don't know if this counts. This isn't a pet peeve, actually. Pet peeves is like an action. But if there's one thing that can make me go from like 0 to 60, it's when I'm like doing something on the side and I'm trying to play Call of the Wild, and I run into this scenario when I'm running into a tree. I'm not claustrophobic, I don't think. But it's the closest thing I can imagine to claustrophobia, because like I'm stuck in the game and I can't move. And it just, for some reason, it just... I swear I could snap at any moment when that happens. Actual pet peeves? When I'm driving and someone, like I'm going like 55 or something, and someone pulls out in front of me when there's nobody behind me, and then goes like 30 the rest of the way, that really bugs me. I think that bugs everybody. I don't know if I have any other good ones. I'd like to think I'm a rather mellow lad. Do you like a lodge stream? I probably should. It does make for like a fairly decent prep video, like for when we go away for Christmas. I'll probably do one, but it's not like some prep content that's quick. Like it takes me an hour and 15 minutes to walk through the entire lodge, and then I gotta do the little edits and everything. It ain't much different than recording a regular video. Hey, by the way, I just saw you mentioned the 12 gauge pump there. At the beginning of the hunt, I was at one of the outposts, and it has the 12 gauge pump hanging on the wall. And I mentioned, like, hey, maybe if we bring the 12 gauge pump, then it'll bring us good luck. Here we are. Next gun in the game would be a straight, or probably should be, a straight pull action. Not as fast as semi, but faster than a bolt action. It would be unique, right? I'm all for unique stuff. What did you want to be when you were small? Big. They should make Call of the Wild for the VR. It's funny you say that. So, well, actually, when I say it's funny you say that, it makes it seem like I was just thinking, but this is like 5 years ago now. So when Call of the Wild came out, I actually wasn't a huge fan of it. It wasn't that I didn't like it. It was, well, it was, but it was because I didn't understand it well. Like, you know, coming from Classic and the fact that the game itself was made by the same company, I sort of expected a Classic-like experience with just modern to the time graphics. It's a very different game, and it turns out I think it's good that it is. Anyway, it was like video number 8 or something. I at the beginning when I was doing Call of the Wild, any Call of the Wild video fell into the same like series for me. Like Classic, I had like a bunch of different things going. I had Road to 100. I had I may have still had the subscriber hunts. There were Let's Go Hunting series at the time. Let's Go Trophy Hunting might have been a thing at the time. It probably was. Like, I had series going. Call of the Wild itself was just a series then. So it was like video number 8, and I was like, I don't know what else to do in this game. I've shot everything on Layton, I've shot everything on Hirschfelden. You know, I've done some missions. So I just kind of like talked about hopes for the game. And it was the realism, the graphics of the game that made me think VR would be really cool. And I'm not gonna lie, I actually thought by now, in 2022, we'd have like a VR type of experience for the game. Maybe one day. Watching you on the school bus right now. Nice. I don't miss school bus rides. I do and I don't. There was something like, I don't know, you get out of school and you're on the bus, especially the first, you know, when I was starting out in school, nobody had phones and stuff. Wasn't really a popular thing yet, but once you got to the point of having a phone or an iPod or something, it was just like relaxing, just, you know you have an hour, you know you have a set amount of time to just do whatever. Doing Call of the Wild in VR would be hard. I assumed that was probably the case, but you would probably be the best person to ask. Is it a graphics limitation thing, or like what makes it challenging? Yes, let me shoot this moose with birdshot. I think that's a grand idea. Don't spook. Oh, smoke that tree. That's 2 so far today. I bet Flinter was the guy to sit on the back tire seat and tell the driver to gun it over a speed bump. Oh yeah, you know me. Outspoken in school. I was out there yelling at the bus driver. Yes, sirree. Cool kid in school. Nice shot, thanks. Appreciate it. No VR headset that can handle the graphics? But is it that? Because maybe I don't understand how VR headsets work, but the headset shouldn't have to handle any of like the graphics side. It should be the PC that mostly does that, right? Like I said, I don't know nothing, so probably not. What them trees do to you? They got my way, didn't you see? What is that? A burb of some kind. Ptarmigan burbs. Watching from work in Sweden, and soon is home time. Is it not like 10 p.m. for you? You must have a later shift. That's a rabbit. Watch this be a 3 now, too. It's not a bad one. I didn't look at the range. It's approximately slightly farther than that. 270. That would be... yeah, like 1 mil dot higher than we aimed. Ah, that ain't gonna work. Cool. What I missed, we actually shot a diamond mountain hare, so got another one of the species off the list. Where can I find your skill and perk settings? If you're in my Discord, specifically in the Hunter Call the Wild chat, if you type out exclamation mark, here I'll do it like this, exclamation mark, Call the Wild perks, or COTW perks I guess it would be. If you do that, in that chat, it should take you to a link that has the screenshots. I think it's a Imgur link or something. I didn't set it up, I'm too dumb to make commands, so somebody who's smarter than me did it, and I can't remember for certain if that's what it is. That's the best way to range, for sure, Tucker. Just, you know, trial and error. I must have missed the first message from Army. That's why you see VR games not looking as good as their pancake counterparts. Just the amount of optimization you need to do is insane. Wouldn't it be trivial to normal games? Like, because of the interaction and stuff with every potential element? That ain't bad, Gavin. Just got home from school. Well, welcome on in. I don't know if we'll be able to continue on the path that we're on. Haven't gotten a Diamond Mountain hair, but we shall try. I go this way a lot, but I think we'll go this way again. Favorite gun? Favorite gun overall is probably... I'd probably go with the 7mm. I like a lot of guns in this game, but the 7mm has just always been one of the best options. You go way back in the day to when quick kill was a thing. The 7mm was often chosen over the 338, specifically because of its accuracy. So when you wanted to go for a heart shot, or you wanted to go for a spine shot because that was the meta back then, you had a more reliable way to get it with just as much power to actually reach that spine or heart. And, you know, now the quick kill is no longer really a thing. The accuracy matters, obviously still, but not as much. And you have a lot of other options that kind of fill those voids, but I still like it. For GPU, it's the resolution. Headsets now are high resolution, way higher than normal monitors, combined with high refresh rate. 75 to 90 FPS is the target. These are things that I can barely wrap my head around. Hello, friends. Feathered friends. If you can find me a level 3 Widgeon, send them this way. Oh. Going for a swim. The spine shot days of Call the Wild. What a time, indeed. I don't miss them really, because it definitely was a aspect of arcadiness, I guess. That said, simpler times, you know? There's always like a yearning for simpler times, I guess. She played this land as my land? Why do I seem to remember that? When I was like 3 or something, I remember like a Thanksgiving Day performance of that by somebody. Guess it's that time of year. No all caps. Caps are trash, says the fallow queen. Do you edit your own videos? Yes. I've considered in the past getting an editor, but I couldn't give up, I guess call it creative control of the content. And it's not like I do like a very specific editing style, but I have a recording style, I guess, and my editing flows with that. I think I could have an editor and it would be fine, but I like to do it myself. I like to know that whatever's being put out, I have the final say on. I like it. I'm curious, Ormy. Is pancake games like the industry terminology, or is that your phrasing? How would you feel if they added spear hunting into the game? It'd be really difficult to do spear hunting well, because most of the challenge is like physical, I guess. I don't know how to describe it. Like, while hunting with a bow is physical, it's also, there's a lot of mental to it. And I guess you could probably say that for spear hunting too. But once you get over with a bow or with a gun, the physical side of like actually placing the crosshairs or the sight on the target, the act of pulling a trigger can pretty well be replicated by clicking a mouse. I don't think that even like, say like some golf games or games, I'm gonna have my cursor on screen so you can see what I'm doing, games where you wind up and then you push the mouse forward to, swing a bat, swing a golf club, swing a whatever. I don't know even if they did that, if they could replicate it well, but if they could in some way replicate the challenge of throwing a spear, I think it could be kind of neat. Zach, thank you for the super chat, by the way. Imagine doing Call of the Wild not classic like everyone wanted. I'll put classic in the poll next time and see how we do. What animal do you think they should add to SRP? Well, whitetail make a little bit of sense, but we don't need whitetail on another map, in my opinion. I do remember when SRP was like initially revealed, there was a lot of disappointment that whitetail weren't on that map. And, like I said, they kind of fit, but it doesn't seem like the type of thing where you're like, oh yeah, I can't wait to go to the Rocky Mountains to hunt whitetail. It just didn't make a lot of sense to me. But that was probably the one thing that, comments I saw on social media, that's what people were asking for. As far as already existing species that could fit, you could do wolves, I think. I think that would be okay. Moose would fit. Nothing else is immediately jumping out as like, hey, they could do that. Grizzlies. Or birds. Some sort of duck. You can fit a lot of ducks into that map. Thoughts on the 10 mil? I like it, but to me, Call of the Wild just wasn't built as a game where handguns were going to be popular. It's just the way the game works, with drink zones and lakes being the size they are, and the speed at which you can kill animals, or pixels, whatever you want to say, with rifles. There's no more efficient way to play the game than like long-range rifle hunting. And because of that, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to carry the 10 mil, on most maps. Now the 243 pistol we're using right here, even though I just made a horrible shot with it, it actually has a pretty major place in a lot of loadouts. It allows you, if you wanted to carry like 5 different weapons, which we don't need that today on this map, but on some maps that actually really helps. That would have been really good if he didn't turn. I think we hit him in the head. Just gonna be proud for getting that shot in there. I use the 10 mil on every map just because it's that damn cool. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Feeling like a big heckin' male smoking everything with a Glock. Will you ever do a face cam? Maybe. Never say never, but for the type of content I do, like, mostly hunting game related, I don't feel like a face cam adds a whole lot. There's not a lot of reactions that are face cam worthy, I would say. Some probably are, but 90% of the time it would probably just be, uninteresting face cam. Hey, you were here earlier. Stay there, please. Oof. I think we clutched that. Do you hunt in real life? I do. Although this year, at least in my home state, I've mostly watched and not shot anything. I did kill a buck in West Virginia though, which I was really happy with. Blacktails are coming to SRP. Is that still happening or not? Because I heard in my first stream back from Tennessee, somebody said that wasn't happening. But then again, that wasn't official information. I would get roasted? Where would I get roasted? If I was the turkey? I'd probably get roasted. Blacktails are not coming to SRP. They change it, they aren't anymore? Okay. This is what I get for going away. This happens every time I go away, too. It's always like some kind of big news happens, and I don't know what's real and what's not. And I'm out here, like, trying not to spew misinformation. Fake news. Because Blacktail aren't really in that area? Yeah, I didn't think that made the most sense. They'd have to be kind of further west. Sitka Blacktail could be on Yukon. They are so different, though. Like, would the ones that we're hunting on Leighton be Colombian Blacktail, or what sort of Blacktail are they? Sitka Blacktail are quite different from, I'm going to call them, like, Western U.S. Blacktail. Leighton Blacktails are Colombian? You're Colombian. Doll sheep on Yukon. That's something I've always wanted. I think it makes sense. Stone sheep could be a neat thing on one of these maps one day. I'd love to see Marco Polo sheep. Give us all the sheep, but in doing so, fix the bighorns. I don't like them. Do you play any kind of instrument? I don't think there's any instrument that I could even, like, play halfway decently. I am just not musically inclined. Old info, gotcha. What's wrong with the bighorn? I don't know how to describe it. The horns just aren't right. There's a couple aspects. They kind of curl around too far, but it's not necessarily that. It's like the whole curl is off. Like, I can't draw on this. Bighorn curl is kind of like, you know, a good gradual. I really wish I could draw. That would really help. The one in game is like too tight, I guess. Like it never. It's not the right shape for the big ones. This sucks that I can't draw and give you a better idea what I'm talking about. Zach, thanks for renewing your membership, by the way. There's a raccoon dog. Oh, a raccoon color. Does it work for raccoon dogs? Why do I keep canceling and renewing my membership every so often? I assume it's because sometimes I am bad, I guess. I don't know. I do not understand myself. Join the club. About you, by the way. I thought it said Borscht instead of Porsche from a distance. What does this one say? Triangle. Nice. Unless it's meant to be like Villa 445? Ill? Interact. What the? Why? Why am I allowed to do that? I thought it was going to let me drive it. Is this part of a mission? Well, I'll be doing this the rest of the day if you guys are interested. Gotta love the ill. Yes. Come off in my Porsche. Breaking and entering in Way of the Classic of the Wild? Yes. My triangle ill. Not part of a mission? I mean, you know, I appreciate being able to interact with random elements. It helps it feel not just like a static world, but of all things to be able to interact with. Car doors, I don't know. What diamonds are you hunting for specifically? Well, we got them out in here earlier, so that was one of them. We're now looking for, at this particular point, specifically for a diamond raccoon dog. We still need widgeon, greylag goose, and tundra bean goose as well, but those... We've streamed bird hunting before, and it's actually kind of fun, but it does kind of just end up sitting in one place and waiting and shooting stuff every now and then. That's fine for some streams, but I like to kind of keep things moving, and of the remaining 4, this is the one that we can do that with. I made a joke that the way the hunter vehicle should be called the Peege. No, hang on. I gotta go out to my peach and get my gun. I'll show you. I'm a hit Widgeon with my ill. Will that ruin the rating? Saw level 5 raccoon dog. Thought it was a diamond if only. You can interact with the cars because those assets are their code, maybe? Come straight from Gen 0, and in that game you can find loot inside cars. You got all the info. I'm sure you were the one that helped me with not to go below 0, right? I wouldn't, never in a million years would I have been like, oh hey, what are their other games? That never would have crossed my mind. Should get away the hunter and go to Transylvania and stream? Man, the last couple of hunts on Transylvania, I can't find anything. I don't know why I'm just terrible at hunting that map. Are you guys Widgeon? You are Widgeon. In theory, they're 175 away. Nah. I was gonna say we could back up to like 210 or so, and then just try to get a couple of these, but I think that's unnecessarily complicating life. I think we got all the males, even though my shooting was horrible. Zach, thank you for the super chat. I don't know why that was taking so long to pop up. Spoiler alert, Zach dies in Way the Hunter. Probably chasing elk and falling off cliffs. Literally have spent 5 minutes on Transylvania and well over 150 on Nez Perce. I feel like that's like a common thing. I know TK's been hunting Nez Perce a little bit, but he was hunting Transylvania a lot and having a ton of fun. And I couldn't enjoy that map as much as I tried. We may not ever claim that, but it'll die. What is your favorite animal to hunt on Call of the Wild? I quite enjoy hunting gray wolves. You get a pack of like 10 to attack, or 2 packs especially, from both sides. It's just, I find it fun to try to navigate through that chaos. Favorite map? Leighton Lakes. What do you think about a Minnesota map? I'm not sure I know enough about what species would be huntable in a Minnesota map. 3 silvers, excellent. Kyla, thank you for the super chat and super sticker. I certainly appreciate it. I don't know if you can hear me yet, audio or no audio, but 'tis appreciated nonetheless. How many Mountains of Coyotes have you found? 2? Maybe 1. I know 1 for certain. I thought I had a melanistic male coyote at some stage. The one I'm remembering was a female. So I think 2. What diamonds from Revontuli do we still need? We got the diamond mountain hare earlier. So we're down to Widgeon, Bean Goose, Grey Lag Goose, and Raccoon Dog. How many albinos do you have? I have no idea. I wish there was like a rare counter in the game. That'd be neat. What's one animal you want to see in CK? I don't know what CK is. You're an albino? Now listen. Sometimes I go outside, okay? Got a melanistic red fox 2 nights ago. Nice. I do agree, it's a very cool melanistic. For some reason, that was the only rare male red fox I'd ever killed prior to the grind for diamonds, in which we killed a couple piebalds. Quattro? Maybe. Oh, and Call of the Wild, I got you, misclicked. If I had to just add 1, probably it would be Doll Sheep. I really think they could fit well on Yukon. I don't hate the idea of Sitka Blacktail to Yukon, though. Yukon is not technically the exact right area for Sitka Blacktail, but it's close, you know? It's a game at the end of the day. Favorite DLC map? It's gonna have to be Virunga. I still really enjoy that map. it is getting tougher, I think. You know why it's getting tougher, like, for me, though? It's because back, I guess, kind of prior to... Do you guys remember that spot on Virunga Savannah that during Cape Buffalo feed time, like, southeast up by the lookout, you would get like 30 to 40 Cape Buffalo all feeding in one spot? It was a really good diamond hotspot. That was kind of the beginning of the downfall of Virunga's, like, allure to me, because I just started getting so many diamond Cape Buffalo, and that was like the one thing that I always loved to find in the game. And now, with the amount of Cape Buffalo that are on the West Coast, it might be even worse. Like, you can just kill diamond Cape Buffalo pretty reliably, or, you know, 2 level 9 trolls, as the case may be from, was that yesterday's video? So, regardless, you just see so many level 9s. That kind of has hurt it for me, but it's still my favorite DLC. I still like it. Hey, Joe. Imagining having an elephant in Call of the Wild? Well, I think in order to add elephants, you'd first have to address the elephant in the room. Anyway, do you have a specific gun for Virunga? Not necessarily. I mean, usually my loadout on that map is 300, 30-06, or, you know, 303 or 7mm, one of those guns in that category. And 243 and 22. No male goose. I think there was, but I assume it got out of sight. I love your content, and your guides have helped me so much. I actually started playing the game because of you. That's awesome, man. I'm always really pleased to see, like, the guides and stuff end up being helpful. That is the goal. Where? Cool. Should have done an Australian map instead of New England, but we've talked about this already. I know you're very opinionated on that one. What animals will be on your Africa 2.0? As far as, like, must-haves for me, Impala, Greater Kudu, Black Wildebeest are kind of a must-have, but not like a really must-have. I think probably leopards are some kind of dangerous game. I think hyenas. Like a big antelope species, give me like an eland, sable. Those are my must-haves. And then, you know, you could put whatever else. You know, you could put Heartbeast, you could put Blessbuck, you could put, don't they have water buffalo in Africa? You could do Cape Buffalo again. I quite like Cape Buffalo. You could do, I mean, they have, like, so many different variations of gazelle, antelope type of species. Giraffe, hey, I'd like giraffes. Neck deer, not giraffes, but Gerenuk, there you go. Water buffalo are Indian? Native to Asia. I thought they had... Maybe it's... I swear they have 2 types of buffalo in Africa. I know there's Cape Buffalo. Maybe there's like a... Isn't there a greater Cape and like a... some sort of lesser Cape Buffalo? Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. I don't know. I'm sure you guys could help me there because I'm oofing there. Rhinos? I wouldn't mind rhinos, but based on the way they sort of approach the story of Virunga, I don't think rhinos make a lot of sense. Forest buffalo? Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Finding the male bunnies. Ooh, zebras. There's a good one, yeah. That's a raccoon dog going over there. Let me call it in with my goose collar real quick. Female. Call the Wild version or primal. You know, it kind of does continue to amaze me that they haven't done more with that genre. It always... Did it really stop right before we shot? It always seemed apparent to me that Primal was super popular. And I think part of the reason that it maybe didn't go further was because it was like a side project, right? Oh, by the way, Eagle, thank you for the 31 months. I forget what I was in the middle of talking about there, but I got sidetracked. Did you say something in that message? I think you did. A little over 2.5 years. Sheesh. It is a long time. Sorry, I missed that, dude. Was I talking about Africa? I think that's it. Call the Wild or Wade Hunter? Depends on the day for me, like, you know, if I'm wanting a challenge or just to kind of relax and shoot stuff, but I like them both a lot. Will you post more Blackbeard grinds? Probably in the next couple of weeks I'll do at least one more sort of run through SRP and just, you know, make sure we're not missing something. Because we've shot, since the reset, a couple hundred bears anyway. That's plenty for one to spawn. So we want to make sure that we haven't missed out, but my plan, knowing what we know now for the New England map, is probably to sort of suspend our grind and wait for that to come out and at least see if it's a better map to grind for black bears on. Because frankly, after the redistribution, like if they only change the times, but we can hunt black bears as we were in SRP, I'd be fine with it. I just don't find that we're very efficient with it, and we could, I'm certain, find a way to be efficient, but I kind of want to just wait and see what this new map brings for it. Best part of Flinter's buck was that it confirmed to him was, yes, my gun can kill something in one shot, unlike my dad's 30-30 reloads. You know, true. It was that particular deer, that 9-point. My brother was hunting in a spot where he didn't have like any service. Phone service, obviously. And he had shot a doe 20-30 minutes before I ended up shooting that buck. And he hit it pretty poorly. He hit it way far back. But he had my dad's 7mm Express. And they ended up killing it like really fast. I'll try to show you like roughly where he hit it. I can't remember exactly either, it's been so long, but kinda, if this was a deer about here, it was probably quartering a little bit. He didn't get lungs though, he got like the artery and just sort of some guts, and it was dead in like 30 seconds. I didn't get to show it well in the video, but my buck stood there having been shot through the lungs twice for a while. I also failed to mention in the video that both shots actually hit. I thought I missed, and I said that in the video, but I never clarified that I actually got it both times. So yeah, seeing that, I decided to get the odd 8, and sure am glad I did. Jolly Bobby, thank you for the super chat. Do I remember you? I can't say I recognize the name. I'm very much profile picture oriented, and I'm pretty confident you have changed your profile picture considering it's holiday oriented, so that could be why. Hey, Kilo, what's going on? It's better than Kalaki. Killed a wide 10.2 days ago in real life? There you go, congrats, man. Killa, Kyla, whoever I am. Will the real Killa Kale 12 please step forward? What's up, Bidoof? That's a Pokemon reference, is it not? Favorite thing to hunt? In-game? I like chasing gray wolves on Yukon. I've seen, I haven't gotten to see the actual like videos of it, Jackson, but I've seen thumbnails and stuff to know that that's happening. It's, I don't know what that says about great ones, frankly, that you can get that many that quickly. How many diamonds you missing down? We're down to 4. We were at 8 like a couple of weeks ago, so I'm pretty pleased with where we're at. We go to Diamond Mountain here earlier, so we now need Widgeon, both geese, and raccoon dogs. Have we killed anything good this stream? Well, accidentally answered that in the previous question, the Diamond Mountain Hare. We actually had a level 3 Capercaillie get away earlier. I don't know where it ever got to. Why is Kilakai's name blue? She is indeed a moderator, yes. A wrench wizard. Yes. What animal would you like them... Would you like the most for them to add? I think I'm gonna stick with Doll Sheep. There's a bunch of things I'd like to see added to certain maps, but Doll Sheep would be number 1 on my list. Yukon just... I find that Yukon's very hit or miss with people. They either love it or they hate it. I'm in the love it category, but I think we missed. I think another species like Doll Sheep would take it to the next level. Don't go down there. Yukon is lacking Doll Sheep? You're lacking Doll Sheep. Marco Polo Sheep, I would love that. They are just so neat, and they're huge. Like, you see sheep, and you think, like, okay, it's 150, 200 pounds, right? They're massive. I don't know how much an adult, like a big male Marco Polo sheep weighs, but I bet it's probably over 250. Jaguar, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate the support. I still have Bighorn? I bet you do. I'm the OG editor? Wait, what did I miss? How did I get on a Tarnigan track? How would you like a bow DLC with the new Hoyt and Matthews models? Is this a Call of the Wild thing? Assuming that it is, it would be neat if they would have more, like, real-life brands. You know, they had the Under Armour thing with the clothes that we're wearing with the Remy Warren deal and all that. There's just not a lot of real-life stuff, and that's fine for a hunting game. Like, I don't feel like you need it, but it is neat to see the, you know, weapons that you may hunt with in real life in the game. I'm actually using the 12 gauge today on the birds. Switched it up for the 12. Their Way the Hunter's thing? I don't think they're Way the Hunter's thing, but I mean, they are a Way the Hunter thing. How much longer are we streaming? 28 minutes. They should add trophy shots to Call of the Wild? That's another one. You know, we're here well into Call of the Wild's existence. You know, we're coming up on 6 years. Are they ever gonna add trophy shots? Like, you gotta start to wonder. How did Diamond Quail work now? I think it's just weight-based. And males are the ones that make Diamond. It'd be neat if they make the arrows not blink, but we got yelled at and scorned the last time we asked that. Wait, what? Please explain. I'm here for this entire explanation. I'm sorry, Raccoon Dog, for what's about to happen to you. What time did Black Bear eat and drink on SRP? I spotted level 9 and lost it, so I need to find its zone. I do not know their feed time. I think it's kind of earlier in the morning. They drink the same time as on any other map, so it's, I think 2000 hours to midnight? Is this little scrambling thing the male that we have a track of? No, but I can't help but think it's with it. I don't see it, though. With the new harvest screen, I almost doubt they'll add harvest screens. I know what you meant. Yeah, true. It's kind of wild that they've... Like, we don't even have true character customization. Like, there's a couple outfits you can choose from and a couple character models, but... They had multiplayer on launch, and there was never any customization side. You don't remember when they revealed the high-tech pack, and they showed us the arrows, and they blinked, and Graham told us that we'd better not care because they aren't doing anything about it. No, I don't remember that. Is that what it was? So what I thought this was gonna be was, I assumed that maybe TK was streaming it, because I know his like tracer arrows that he uses in real life do blink. So I thought that maybe you were playing up the idea that he said that's how they work in real life, or that's how his work. I didn't know they made any to blink. It makes enough sense, but I mean, look at the tracers in Classic and the ones in Call of the Wild, and tell me that it's not a million times cooler to watch a Classic tracer fly through the air. Do you shoot those too in real life? Yes. That's one of the things that I'm going to talk about. Not shooting does, but shooting does falls into this category. One of the things I'll talk about in the West Virginia video, just shot a devil dog, by the way. It's a common question, like, do we actually eat whatever we're hunting? And the answer to that is yes. And I'll talk about that in that West Virginia video. And, you know, go along with that, does taste good too, so we shoot them. What handgun are we hunting with? This is the 243 handgun from the, what do they call that? Sidearm DLC? That one. What diamond are you most proud of? My first ever diamond in Minecraft. Probably the 1000 Coyote. Going way back. It was a different time. Like, getting a max score, getting a diamond at all was rare. Getting a max score, especially of a predator species, was darn near unheard of. And for it to happen in the way that it did, like, it was on JaxyBeard's map. My favorite little, like, unknown detail of that particular diamond. If you're familiar with the Never Go AFK with Flinter video, in which I don't remember what the distance was, but I used a 4-wheeler to push Jaxy's character like several kilometers into a lake, set the 4-wheeler on fire on the shore, and then shot a deer and sat there and waited for him to come back. I recorded that and you know, completed that maybe an hour before I killed the 1000 Coyote. Well, hour before I found it. It took an hour to track the thing down. And the initial title for that 4-wheeler video was meant to be Why Flinter Never Kills Diamonds. At that point, I had only killed 2, and the other, like, I guess I'll say major creators of Call of the Wild, being Beard and Zaggy at the time, they each had like 4 or 5. Nobody had a ton of diamonds at this point. But then I killed the 1000 Coyote, Shadow's awake now, and I had to change course there. Do you like the Coyote better than your Great One? No, because the Great One it was the reaction. It was the fact that I got to have the initial reaction to spotting it on video. Because my red deer, I didn't. My red deer was like 11 o'clock at night. I had streamed on Twitch till whatever time I finished streaming, 9:30. And, you know, I was just doing some late grinding, and then I finally found it. The reaction wasn't quite as good, I feel, anyway. Kyla was there. She could maybe tell you how good or not good it was. But the whitetail was just special because nobody really had many. What video are you most proud of? I mean, my real life buck video is probably the one I'm most proud of. I have, for as little editing as there is in that video, I have like a couple hundred hours in working on it and trying to perfect it and get every little detail as good as I could. Outside of that, I don't know. Maybe what was the, it was one of EW's streams. I did one, oh, you know what it was? It was actually the Angler. I just did like a ton of editing in like trying to really show visually what I was talking about with everything, and I was just really happy with it. It was I think everything we know about the Angler so far video. Just, and the editing techniques and stuff I used, a lot of those I learned by editing real life videos. And, you know, when you're editing real life content, you sometimes got to come up with creative ways of editing around certain things, whether it's, you know, cutting out mistakes in like a pre-hunt interview, and you know, you overlay a panning of the view in your stand or whatever, or whether it's, you know, sometimes like hunting here, I'll get traffic noise, and while there's nothing wrong with hearing, you know, traffic while you're hunting, oh god, that was terrible. It takes you out of the like immersion a little bit, so editing around stuff like that. And I felt like I got to put all that to use in a non-hunting video, and I was really just pleased with how it came out. Have we got anything good today? We got a diamond mountain hare, one of the specific species we were after. Sorry, bird. Later, Kieran. Do you remember your albino diamond moose? I do. Do I remember the score? 970 flat? I think. That's a Flinter shot? Hey, I ran out of breath. Don't accuse me. What are you doing, Shadow? All the blood's gonna run to your head. She's like laying upside down. Sit up, you goob. Did you just blow up a ptarmigan with the 243? Did you just blow up a ptarmigan with the 243? Blasted a bird minding its own business? It's my business after that. What do you do if whitetail disappear from all your zones? Probably I would just start exploring other bodies of water during their drink time and see if you can find new herds. Most likely you just have herds either moving or new herds spawning in places that you haven't been grinding. Where did the name Flinter come from? That came from... basically, my favorite hunting game growing up was Cabela's Dangerous Hunts 2009, and the main character was Flint Abrams. I played that game a bunch, and then finally decided it was time to, you know, I beat it like, I don't know, 7-8 times, and I decided it was time to play a new game. So, I had seen a television ad for the Hunter Classic. I swear, like, nobody knows that they used to have a TV ad, but they did. And I remembered it, went to sign up, and I was like, hey, I just played this game. I'm gonna be Flint Abrams in Hunter. Somebody had that idea before me, somebody had the idea to be just Flint before me, so I just added an ER to the end and called it good. If I reset my Call of the Wild account, does it reset my lodges? No, which is an interesting thing. I think they do that, not because they want you to be able to have the ability to reset and keep your lodges, but because there was an issue with lodges disappearing for people, and like all your hard work would be gone, so they must save your lodge separate from your save file somewhere. Supposed to smoke the trees, not the birds? What does the Lorax say about the trees? If only I didn't completely... Why would I bring up a reference when I don't know? One word of the quote. That was terrible. Sorry. Wonder how many times Flinter shot or got killed by those elephants in the India mission? I won't lie, I don't remember that one very much. There was a... Are they called tapir? The things that are kind of like elephants, but like tiny. I remember that as like a side mission. I think they're tapir. And I remember... I think they were tigers in India. There was a mission where they would like attack a guy and you had to shoot one off the guy that it was attacking. I struggled with that. But then the worst one, I think this was also a tiger mission. You had to tranquilize like 4 of them. And I had a heck of a time. You know, being 12 years old or however old I was. Yeah, 12 I guess it would have been. I couldn't ever find all 4. The tiny elephants, I don't know how else to describe them, that's kind of what they are. What map? We are on Revontuli Coast. The Sri Lankan mini elephants? No, I'm not talking about your band. Do you stream once a week? Once a week on YouTube, Mondays at 3 p.m. Eastern. Also, at this point, once a week on Twitch, Fridays at 1 p.m. Eastern. Throughout, like 10 months out of the year, I stream Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern as well. That's typically a classic stream over on Twitch. But this time of year, being that it's hunting season, I don't do the Wednesday stream because there's just no practical way of doing it. 7:30 to 9. like, that's fine. Like, that's early enough for me to get to bed, but usually in hunting season, I have a video to make for the next day, and in one way, shape, or form, I need those 2 hours that I would normally stream to get video content done so I can do as much hunting as I would like to do, which, you know, that stuff's content too. How was your real life hunting season? Here in PA, the archery was rough. You know, I saw the buck that I was after. I had him in bow range, but just, it didn't work out. Like, he crossed just a little bit too far away, and I called him back down, and he was facing me, and he was actually too far left. I was in a double tree stand, or a double set. And basically, the stand to the left would have been blocking my shot anyway, even if he was broadside there. But I never came to full draw here in PA. I killed that buck in West Virginia with my bow. It's my first bow buck on film, so, you know, I'm super pleased that that finally happened. But, you know, I haven't not shot a deer in PA before rifle season probably in 10 years. How many hours do you play computer games per day? Not many. These days, not many. Let me see. Have I been home for 2 full weeks? I haven't, right? No, I've only been home for a week. Well, this will be a decent way to do this then. I have approximately 31 hours in the last week. So what? 4 hours a day in this last week? Well, I'm trying to think. I guess only 2 days I've been trying to prep content so far. But it's more like 3 hours a day most days. That probably sounds like a lot to some of you, but considering it is my job, most of it's like editing and sort of non-gameplay related stuff these days. How do you always get diamonds and golds? I think it's twofold. One is, you know, time put in, but as I just said, I don't get to play as much now as I did, say, 2 years ago when I was in my apartment. But I think it's just, you know, making the most of my time. When it's, the animals I'm hunting today don't really drink, but say we were on another map. When it's moose drink time, I'm hunting moose. When it's whitetail drink time, I'm hunting whitetail. Just hunting the things that I'm likely to be able to find a bunch of during that time. Lynx are just the worst. Everybody should hate them. They always make me think I find an albino raccoon dog, and then they ruin my day. How dare you start running right when I shot. I think the lynx actually may have caused that. Do lynx spook raccoon dogs? They spook bears and stuff now. It's a 5, it doesn't matter. Excited for the new Great One? Yes, I think that's going to be a lot of fun. When do you think New England will come out? I know we don't have a release date. Just based off, like, past map releases. I remember, I don't know why, but I remember Quattro for some reason being December 10th. Mississippi was roughly that area, maybe a week earlier than that. Might have been December 3rd, 4th. So, you know, mid-December-ish. I think Parquet was the 13th? December 12th. Yes, I like it. You should die, you. Well, that sucks. I swear if it kills us instead, that would have been rough. We had 22 hits. Excellent. At least this one has eyes. What I miss? We had a diamond mountaineer, so that was a big plus. Ethical hunting, that's what I preach. Dream trophy in Call of the Wild, a diamond leucistic Cape Buffalo with the big horns would be epic. Why don't you play Way of the Hunter as much as you did? It's kind of like a loop of unfortunate right now. So, it's hunting season, right? Well, technically, I guess it's bear season now, but it's the 1 week that's not hunting season for any time between October and mid-January, basically. So we're just going to say it's hunting season, just for the sake of the reason I haven't played as much Way the Hunter in the last, like, month. So, I'm spending a lot of time that, you know, for the rest of the year, I could be off camera playing Way the Hunter and working on herd genetics and stuff. So, essentially, I don't stream or record as much Way the Hunter because, like, the last thing that I did in Way the Hunter was make a video. And I know maybe I gotta pass time to hopefully get animals to age again. And then I don't have the time to do that. So then the next time it's time to record, I don't make a video on Way the Hunter because I haven't passed time. And then that just continues. Like, I never have the time to get days to pass. And then I don't have the time to end up making videos. So I'm hoping, I don't know when, but I'm hoping in the next couple days to get out and try to play the game a little bit and maybe see if we can see that 4-star whitetail reach 5, but we shall see. PA does indeed have a bear season. It's quite a tradition, actually. Shooting an elk in the face would be fun. Hey, I mean, everybody's got their thing. Whenever I can tell you... No, come back. Whenever I can tell you, can't now because character limit, but I need to tell you about me and my dad's black powder escapades. It's on the level of some of the other bad stories I've told you. Oh. I will be all ears whenever the opportunity arises. What a shot, right in the toe. Every raccoon dog's vitals, as true hunters know. What has been your best kill in Call of the Wild? Personally, I think it's the piebald diamond gray fox. That was pretty special. Was that in hunting season? It was December 10th-ish. I don't know that it was in hunting season, but it was... For whatever reason, I was up super late. It was like 1 in the morning, maybe 2 in the morning by the time I actually shot it. I was trying to get this video done, and it's just like nothing was cooperating. And then finally I ended up changing my mind and doing Mississippi instead of whatever else I had planned first. Shot a albino raccoon, a diamond quail, and then to cap it off was the super rare, the gray fox. And I think that also was the last diamond I had been missing off Mississippi. It was just a crazy circumstance. You have the best YouTube personality out there? Well, I appreciate that. Don't tell me you don't remember that one classic stream I completely derailed? I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of wondering if that was you. The one where I shot it with a cable back and then I hit it, I didn't shoot it in the brain, so we had to circle back and track it like 30 minutes later. That's the one. I do indeed recall that. Someone's neck popped? That was my back, actually. Shadow finally got up. And, it's not comfortable, but she will lay on my lap and mostly just sleep if I can sit cross-legged in this office chair, which is an achievement in and of itself to even do that. But, yeah, I basically was sat cross-legged for like an hour and 52 minutes, and then she finally got up, so it was time to crack my back. Talk about fishing makes me want to go out right now and catch a mess of crappie. You're a mess of crappie. Get it? I don't have a gaming chair, I do. Kyla does need a better gaming chair. Kyla's was, I don't know how much it was new, but... What are you doing? See, you couldn't have slept for like 5 minutes? Bro, why? Come here. Don't do that. Come here. No. I don't understand what she's doing because she's looking... I might just mute my mic because that's loud. Dude, you're looking at the corner of the room. What do you think is over there? No. There's nothing there. Listen, if you're gonna bark, go downstairs. She's just looking around like, I don't know what I'm barking at, but I'm here. My pupper, yeah, maybe she's barking for you. She was literally, like, you know where your trash can is by the office? She was, like, barking at that. Maybe something like shifted in there. I don't know how that could have happened. It hasn't been touched in 3 days. How tall am I? 12. I have a 14-year-old dog that still does that same freak out bark at nothing thing. It's possible that she heard an icicle fall off the roof. It's been pretty warm here today, so a lot of the ice and snow has been falling, but usually like that hits the deck or something and she runs outside, or not out, she can't go outside, but she runs to the door as if there's something outside. I've never seen her just bark at the corner in the room like that. It was kind of weird. Is it a ghost? Maybe. You know what? We have a couple of minutes. I was going to jump back to the lodge, but it won't take us long to put a rabbit there. Hello? I hear wings. Not wings of redemption, just rings. Rings? Rings. How you doing? We're doing good. Other than Shadow deciding to take over this ring for a minute. Don't you start it again. What are you doing? Weirdo. She's over there just poof. Poof. What map are you going to grind the Great One Moose on? I don't know. We'll probably give New England a shot, but I think Revontuli's got a really good chance of being the best one. Stop it, I hear you. It's me, I'm in your walls. Oh, good. Either way, I appreciate the super chat if that alert ever goes through. What kind of dog? She is a blue healer, and why can't I think of the other one? I guess Kyla's gonna have to tell you because I can't think of the name of the jumpy one. What the heck? Why is my brain just not working today? Border Collie, yeah. I had some kind of terrier in my head and I knew that wasn't right. YouTube says you're playing Rust? Well, I am pretty rusty. Doing mine on Medved, the ice is stacked. I was thinking Medved might be a good map for it. I don't know if pops are getting a reset though. Like that would be my worry for doing a grind there. If they would move things around at all. Terrier. Speaking of Terrier, Terry finally texted me. What was your best albino other than the Diamond Fox? Wait. What? My fox was a piebald. But if you're asking about albino, gotta be the albino diamond moose. Recently got a missing diamond myself just yesterday, a European bison. There you go. That's a cool one. I was looking at Hirsch as maybe a map to hunt one of these days soon, and I saw the European bison on the list of species. It makes me kind of want to hunt them again. Still need a whitetail great one? There you go. Would you suggest Way the Hunter to a person who is new to hunting games? Are you new to hunting? Because I think that's maybe the more important question. If you hunt in real life, or you know, if you're looking for like a authentic hunting experience in the game, then Way the Hunter is gonna fit that perfectly. If you're just looking for hunting games, you're new to hunting games, and not someone who hunts in real life, I don't think Way the Hunter is maybe the best place to start. I think it'd be a good place to move to eventually, but maybe not the best place to start. Zach, thank you for the super chat. Why do you have so many skeletons within your walls? Anything you'd like to get off your chest? Also, there's some leftover fried chicken in here too. I call dibs. Hey, listen, don't touch my fried chicken stash. As for the skeletons, you know, you gotta find a way to keep a leg up on the competition. You helped me when I deleted my game file with your beginner series? I'm glad that could help. That's not a fun situation to be in, I'm sure. I'm trying to find a good spot to put this. Like, I feel like this is out of the way. Diamond Mountain hair should be displayed prominently. What about this? This is scrub hair? Yeah. Sorry, Scrubhair. You're not as cool. 5.8 according to this. It was 5.79 I thought in the harvest screen. What a good looking rabbit model. Is there one where it's like sitting, or standing rather, really vertical? There we go. I like it. Pretty cool. So we have all the diamond rabbits in the game again. That at least has been accomplished. Still have yet to get the 3 bird species and the raccoon dog, but hopefully we're well on our way. Next time we go to Revontuli, I imagine it'll be mostly raccoon dog focused, but maybe if we can make it back for a video, we'll do some bird hunting. We have that spot where we can get both bean geese and gray lag geese coming in. That might be a video idea coming sometime in the near future, but anyway, on that note, that is pretty well going to do it for this stream, a productive one. So once again, thank you to everybody who voted in that poll. We ended up getting a Diamond Mountain Hare because of it. But yeah, thank you guys again for watching today. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for all the support. And I will see you in tomorrow's video. Bye.